Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tyler Stevenson, your host for Innovators and Impact, the #1 business podcast in the Bahamas. And this episode, I bring to you a person of high caliber, of great knowledge, a person who is a titan of their industry. He is an imperfect man after God's own heart, a husband, father of two, a businessman, and a philanthropist. I present to you none other than Lincoln Deal II. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Tyler. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. And so I've had the opportunity to have a few conversations with you. But for those of us that may not know who you are, could you just give us an appreciation for who Lincoln Deal is?
Sure. I think you said it in your bio. In its simplicity, Lincoln Deal is one, an imperfect man after God's own heart. So I'm God-fearing. I am a husband to Beth Deal. I am a father of two, Lincoln and Lael Deal. I'm a businessman of a group of companies that have touched a few different industries, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in tech, whether it's in ag tech, of course, tourism, hospitality, and a few other areas. And I'm a philanthropist because I believe that ultimately it's important to give back. And so we would have started organizations such as #Lunchbag Bahamas, the Bahamas STEM Academy. I'm involved with the Over the Hill Foundation, the OWN Foundation, and a few other things.
Yes. So, Lincoln, when you were a young boy, was this always the plan for you? Was it always a passion of yours to pursue entrepreneurship?
Well, when I was young, I think I wanted to be a pastor at first, but that went out the window, right? So, actually, from the age of 7, I knew that I wanted to be a business owner. I actually started selling cup. For those who don't know what cup is, it's basically fruit punch, frozen fruit punch that you would have in those cups, and people would enjoy those over the summer. I started that at the age of 7. And then I started selling lemonade. And then from there, I got popsicles and started building popsicle structures. And so from a young age, the seeds were planted for something that I would have eventually began to do. Yes. I loved using my hands. I loved to create things. I loved to sell stuff to people.
Yeah.
And so I guess during that time, the seeds were planted. I started different things. And up to the 12th grade, I actually had a gym bag filled with Welch's fruit snacks, some candies, and I was like, they used to call me the mobile entrepreneur. So as I was going from class to class, people used to stop me to get their snacks for the next session, and even teachers started to patronize me after a while. And so I've always loved business and solving problems and creating things and creating systems and engaging people to be a part of something.
Was there anybody or any circumstance that inspired you to go on that path?
My dad, as always, he's tried to tap into some entrepreneurial things. Him and his brothers owned a bus system over the years, and they still have that going. But I think ultimately it was just something that I had a passion for at a young age, And I think they did help to harness that. Sometimes when kids say they want to be a particular thing, parents start to steer them into different directions. Yeah. But for me, I believe that my parents, they listened for the most part. There were times in my entrepreneurial journey where they did not get it, but I don't think that they've ever necessarily discouraged me from pursuing, business.
That's interesting. So because it's always been a part of you, tell me, does your mind ever turn off, or is it always just going with ideas 24/7? How does that process work for you?
It depends on the season of my life that you're talking about. So now that I have kids and a wife, they make it turn off, right? they force that to happen. But at different stages of my entrepreneurial journey. So at one point in my life, it was just Lincoln, right? Didn't have any responsibilities, didn't have a wife, kids, and all these other things. I was solely into my companies and my business. That was me around the clock. I was the marketing, accounting, salesperson, answering the phone. I was just doing everything. And then as the years progressed and I started to get a team, I took on a wife, and I realized that I now need to set time for family because family is very important. And you should never lose sight of that. And so there was Beth. And then as time progressed, I then took on my first child, and I realized that what is time, right? Because he takes all of it. And now my daughter Lael. And so I think different seasons of my life have basically required different aspects of me. And although all of that's happening, yes, my mind still goes around the clock,
Yeah.
right? 11, 12 o'clock in the night, I'm thinking, we should do this, or this would be a good idea, right? But I'm now conditioning myself to turn off.
What kind of qualities do you think like helps you, qualities that you would attribute to this changing season that have helped you to continue to be successful?
I believe, you know, when people pursue a particular thing, you have to know why you're pursuing that particular thing. And from that why, you begin to formulate the next steps, right? What do I want? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? How am I doing it? And who am I going to do it with? For me, some of the things that I've always valued, obviously my relationship with God, but family, right? And so at a young age, while I wanted to do business, I knew I wanted to have a family because I love family. Knowing your why helps you to understand what happens next. And I think for me, over the years, I started to plan out exactly how I want things to be in my personal life.
Speaking of planning, as an entrepreneur, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure there are some challenges that come along the way. How have you been able to navigate some of those challenges, those inevitable challenges that come up as an entrepreneur?
I mean, challenges, like every day is a challenge, right? As I was saying to you before the show, at any given moment, one of your team members can call you with some problem,
Yeah.
right? So for me, a lot of things in business is about problem solving. Even the essence of business should be you solving a product in your market. So, in the line of business that you guys are doing, you're solving a problem, right? You're tapping into niches. You're targeting areas that other persons haven't thought of or wasn't targeting or wasn't even doing it right. And so the same principle relates to business in general. Challenges will come, but you have to know how to condition your mind, how to build the skills necessary to weather those storms. When I started my first business in the tech space, it didn't really take off at that time. The reason was we were too early, right? The market was too young for what we were trying to do. And so you have to know why you're getting into a particular market, but also need to know when to pivot. One of the second companies that I started, I got rejected over and over and over and over and over again, right? 7 rejections from the licensing body, rejected from 17 investors and financial institutions because I was being rejected by the by the regulatory body. And eventually we had to go to the Supreme Court. By God's grace, we were able to win that court case against the government. But it just goes to show you that 2 years down the drain, fighting, believing in something was a challenge. And so business is not this straight line of success. You write this business plan, okay, I'm going to make $1 million in the first year. Everything is going to go perfect. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
Most times your projections just ball it up and just throw it away sometimes, right? Because the realities of life, the realities of business is what it is. It is a reality. And the grit that comes into entrepreneurship is how you handle the things that you did not plan. How do you handle the things that did not go right based on your business plan? And I think that is where the strength of the entrepreneur comes in. The way that you pivot, the way that you solve these problems, the way that you navigate the dark days, the valley experiences. And I think the true test of an entrepreneur is the one or the group or the persons that are able to navigate not the good days, but the bad days.
At Lifestyles Digital Media Group, we specialize in creating compelling corporate content that enhances your internal and external communication efforts.
Our clients come from a cross-section of industries such as banking and finance, healthcare, insurance, and many more.
At Lifestyles Digital Media Group, excellence is the standard.
Our highly skilled and passionate team knows how to produce content that will resonate with your audience and significantly boost engagement rates.
Let us help you tell your story, connect with your audience, and achieve your business goals.
The team here at Lifestyles Digital Media Group would love to help you get seen, be heard, and make an impact.
Speaking to some of the businesses that you have today, we have, and I just found this out, that you were the first person to bring the clear kayaks to the Bahamas, and now it's clear boat Bahamas. So I think there are some parallels there.
Sure. For sure.
Could you tell me a little bit about that transition and seeing some businesses that may not have been successful and now you have the successful ones? What are some parallels between those that have allowed you to expand to this?
Yeah, so the tourism industry is an area that I've been involved in for many years. I was actually a junior minister of tourism back in 2009, and I had gotten a lot of experience actually working at the Ministry of Tourism. But some of the ventures that we would have gotten to over the years, whether it be jetpacking, boating, the clear kayaks, right? Yeah. Those were things that wasn't present, right? There was no one doing this. Obviously, it was a big hit in the Turks and maybe some other jurisdictions, but Open Water Tours was the first company to bring the drone clear kayaks here to the Bahamas. We've been doing it for the past 3 to 4 years. It's been a big hit. And of course, we've now introduced the clear boats. Again, one of the first company to introduce the clear boats to the Bahamas. We look to expand not just in Nassau, but throughout the Family Islands. And what we're trying to do in pioneering is to disrupt a particular system, right? Disruption and innovation is a very important part of the business that we do, right? When we look at a particular area, when we look at a particular space, what are the biggest problems in that area? In tourism, there's a constant saying that there is a lack of activities here in the Bahamas. Tourists are bored. They're not enticed to come off the cruise ship. There's nothing to do. And so how do we solve that market, but not just with foreigners, Bahamians, who should be having a piece of this touristic pie? And so for us, we have always been about trying to create these unique experiences for guests that don't just put money in the pockets, but it enhances the overall tourism industry, because now they're leaving great reviews. They're posting these pictures on their social media platforms, whether they're coming from New York or whether they're coming from London. You are now advertising the Bahamas to the world. And so ultimately, it solves some of the issues that we've been having. And the jet car, another unique thing, who could drive a car on water on the beautiful, pristine waters of the Bahamas, right? So more unique experiences added to our touristic offering. And I think that is where we get our gratitude from.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think we spoke about it a little bit previously. What you're really doing is targeting pain points.
Yep.
So you're navigating the waters, so to speak, in order to find out exactly what those pain points are and providing a solution.
Right.
And I believe that, again, speaks to the person that you are, the business person that you are. And as well, us being able, here at Lifestyles, being able to also target those pain points for the clients that we have. So I completely resonate with that, because everybody's looking for a solution.
Yes.
And there are a million ways to solve it. But finding the right partnership,
yes,
and being able to align together, I believe, helps to formulate a successful business, because now you have the perfect partnership between the person that has the issue and the person that's able to solve the issue. So I definitely resonate with that. How is a person who is really just getting started, who might not have the wherewithal that you would have had at such a young age, somebody that's just really hopping into it.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the key factors that would allow you to at least get on the path to success?
Yeah, I think success is going to look different for everyone, right? Everyone has different paths and different journeys, but ultimately, I believe the character traits are what will determine who is successful and who may, move on to something else. I believe my definition of entrepreneurship is two words. It's an unpredictable journey. Unpredictable because you are stepping into the unknown. You don't know if this product, this service that you're offering is going to work, if it's going to be successful, whether people are going to buy it, whether they're going to like it, whether they're going to hate it. You have no idea. No matter how many business plans you put together, no matter how much market research you put into it, when you jump in and you're in that thing and you're doing it day after day, month after month, you begin to realize, again, going back to the realities.
Yes.
It's a journey because even after you've solved those pain points, there are more pain points that are going to come, right? The market is going to change. Some global pandemic is going to happen. And so you may solve a problem today, but tomorrow there may be another problem and another problem, which goes back to the foundation of what I was saying. You have to know your why. If you are not passionate or truly interested in the thing that you are doing, when those pain points come, you are going to give up because it's nothing that you're holding so close to you, you could just walk away. But persons and business owners that want to get into a particular industry, you have to love what you're doing. And so I would say find the thing that you actually enjoy doing. Find the problem that you want to solve and be committed to that problem. People think that success is going to come after the first day or the first month or after the first year. The reality is some business owners go years without seeing their first profit.
Wow.
Some business owners fail, right? But failure isn't final. And you have to know how to condition your mind to those difficult times and those difficult moments. Because from those failures, you can learn. Over the past 15 plus years that I've been in business, everything didn't go as planned and everything did not work out perfectly. But from those dark moments, I've been able to learn from those mistakes, learn from those failures, and now take that experience into my businesses, into managing over 40 people, into being able to establish a business sometimes at rapid pace. That didn't just happen because I read a book. It happens from years of experience, building connections, understanding the market, maneuvering through all of that. So what I would say to a budding business person right now is know your why. Choose something that you're passionate about or something that you would love to do. Thirdly, be able to pivot as necessary and have a resilient mindset.
When you think about the future, as we spoke about, what are some of the most exciting things that you think about as the industries innovate? What are some things that really pop to mind? Let's say I'm excited to see what this branches off into.
I'm excited to see what the future of artificial intelligence would be and what that means for some of the things that we do, how we do business, how we live our daily lives. I think that in the next 10 years, we're going to see the significant rise locally in AI. I think that there are some industries that are slightly archaic that need some infusion of technology to improve, one, the efficiency of that particular thing. And so, our people can be further, right? Our systems can move faster. And I believe that the next generation, because you and I are already done with school, right? But the things that they should be learning today is regarding the jobs and the careers and the future tomorrow. My kids who are now COVID babies, but they're also tech babies, right? So my son can go through an iPad, download apps, and you could just do all of that, right? When I was his age, I was building popsicle sticks and selling gum. They're going to be a different generation. And the reason I'm taking it from the human capital standpoint is because people make these things happen, right? Yeah. The ideas and the vision, they're going to come from people. And so education is important. I would love to see our educational system change. I would like to see more refinement in our transportation systems. I would like to see more technology in the government systems. I would love to see the way we do business improve, whether payment gateways or generally how we do business, the way we grow our food, the scale at which we grow our food. I think the future is exciting, but it can be terrifying if we don't prepare today. I believe that the Bahamas is perfectly positioned. I don't see us as a third world country. I see us as people who are budding and bursting with potential, who can compete with anyone on the first world stage. And so I see the Bahamas being an integral part of what the future of the world even looks like, and Bahamians being a part of those solutions.
Absolutely. Lincoln, if anybody would like to reach out or get any information about any of your companies or reach out to you personally or through any of your other ventures, how would they be able to reach you?
Yeah, so if you'd like to hire me, I'll send my resume. I'm kidding, let me stop my foolishness. Right, so you can reach out to me directly at Lincoln Deal on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/X, LinkedIn, look me up. Of course, our companies, you could find Clareboat Bahamas, Jetcar Adventures, Eden Farms, Eden Acres, Open Water Tours. Those are the handles for all of those solutions. But thank you for the opportunity here today.
Thank you very much for being gracious with your time, and it was such a pleasure having you today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in with us at another amazing and impactful episode of Innovators and Impact. You witnessed it here. The breadth of information that has come from this young man has been a catalyst in the way that he has set up his life. And he also would like to ensure that people that come after him have the same opportunities. So I've been your host, Tyler Stevenson. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this episode, and share it with anybody that you feel that this information can resonate with. Anybody that you feel whose life could be changed today by this information. Anybody that you feel needs to hear this information because you know that you've seen something in them. Take care, God bless you, and have a beautiful day.